The world of online video creation is a tough one. In previous generations, people may have had dreams of becoming rock stars or famous actors and actresses, but things are changing quickly. In a 2017 study published on the website The Sun, they found that around 75% of people between the ages of 6 to 17 want to become YouTubers in some capacity, with the profession tripling the demand of that of movie stars or famous singers. The same study found that nearly 50% of all millennials have stated that they've been inspired by YouTubers to make positive personal changes in their life, with 40% of people between the ages of 6 to 17 within the survey saying that their favorite YouTuber understands them better than their friends and family. So with this being the new most desired career of young people, it's always really inspiring to see someone that we can relate to rise through the ranks of YouTube and start to see success. This is where the story of Omni comes in. Omni has been deeply ingrained within the Smash community for over a decade, and has been posting periodically on YouTube for nearly that same amount of time, eventually pivoting out of the Super Smash Bros. Niche into something new entirely. What I think sets Omni apart the most though, and what makes him an incredibly interesting channel to study, is his long-term pursuit of becoming a YouTuber and his unwillingness to give up, and his channel is now seeing incredible success. But it wasn't always like this. In February of 2018, Omni was losing around 80 subscribers per month. But in December of 2020, Omni gained 32,000 subscribers in a single month, with a current average of around 1,300 subscribers every single day. So what happened? How did he make this shift? Let's get into it. Steven Silver was born in 1987 on August 9th and lives in Maryland. Growing up, he used to sit and watch his uncle play old SNES games, and eventually taking turns playing them became some sort of bonding ritual for them. They'd go to the local Blockbuster and rent new games each week, and help each other out if they got stuck in a game. This created an early love for video games that was only added upon when his friends would come over and they would bust out the extra controller and get into playing games like Super Mario World, Contra, and especially Super Smash Bros. While not too much is known about his personal life and childhood compared to that of some other YouTubers, I can go over what we do know. In February of 1991, one of the founding fathers of the modern internet age came into play, AOL. It originally worked as a dial-up service, web browser, email, instant messenger, etc. It was all the rage back then, and when Steven created a screen name for AOL, he chose a name that has now become very iconic across all of the internet, SSJ Gohan. Unfortunately, that name was a bit too iconic and the name was already taken, so he set his mind to work on something else. For some reason at the time, he really liked the word Omni, but that didn't have enough characters for a full screen name, so he added Inferno as a prefix, which is another word that he just thought was really cool, thus giving birth to the online persona Inferno Omni. Yeah, that's right, the name essentially came from a random name generator inside of his own head geared specifically for looking for the coolest words that he can find. Apart from this though, we don't have too much record of what Omni was into as a child or a teenager. Part of me wonders if he, like many other YouTubers, had always been creating videos or trying to entertain others, or even if he always wanted to be an online personality. Omni has shed some light on a few of his hobbies though as a child, saying that around this time he really enjoyed things like making GeoCity websites with flames in the background, which to a younger generation that might not know, GeoCities was a free website hosting service run by Yahoo. He also enjoyed role-playing in chats with text-based speed fighting or printing out Dragon Ball Z pictures and redrawing them. Which, I mean, some of these actually hold up pretty well when compared to actual Dragon Ball still frames these days. But anyway, this sort of fandom toward Dragon Ball also marks an interesting note regarding Omni and his upbringing. He's been on record as saying that while some people see anime as a fun escape or passing thought, for him, in addition to those things, it really served as a formative and influential experience for him growing up, saying that he learned many of his lessons of what being a good person looks like from the things that he saw in anime. From the way that he talks about it in his videos, they're more than just a pastime to him, or at least they were, and they seem to have left a genuinely big impact on him. In addition to anime though, Steven also had a huge love for video games, and was super gifted at one franchise in particular, Super Smash Bros. Omni started his early days in competitive Smash by studying videos of a team of Smash players called the Punch Crew. He studied their advanced tech and soon began competing with a Smash crew called Team Arlington. This brings us to 2005 when Omni entered his very first Super Smash Bros. Melee tournament, an event called MLG DC 2005, taking 25th place out of around 100 competitors. He began entering these Melee tournaments around every other year, sometimes placing in the top 10 alongside current big names in the Melee scene like Mewtwo King or Mango, both of whom are arguably within the top 5 best players of all time. He likely could have made it really big in competitive Smash, but he was never able to totally give it 100% due to some complications with debt and a loved one. He ended up working 2 jobs during college and used Smash as a way to help make ends meet, but was never able to give it his all. Even at some of his darkest times, he was taken in by a group of Smash players who let him sleep in their home and showed him incredible kindness. Omni went on to finish his college days and get some work as an accountant, but this love of Smash seemed to only grow more and more. In 2008, when Super Smash Bros. Brawl was released for the Nintendo Wii, things seemed to really hit a new high. This was a game that really divided the competitive scene, but that didn't seem to stop Omni, as he entered 2 tournaments in 2008, one called Brawl Till You Fall in 2009 that he took first place in alongside Mewtwo King, and 4 tournaments for Brawl in 2010. Brawl was infamous for a few different reasons in the Smash community. Firstly, it handled incredibly different than its predecessor, having a much more floaty and slow combat system. Secondly, it had a few mechanics in place to decrease the skill gap between competitive players and casual players, which made the game very frustrating to some people. But a big point of contention around the game came from a character called Meta Knight. For those of you who haven't played Brawl in a long time or ever, Meta Knight took what being a good character meant and turned it up to 11. He was hard to hit, he hit you hard, and he seemingly had no weaknesses. This led to a lot of competitors becoming incredibly frustrated with the game and the character in general. It got to the point that many tournament organizers banned the character altogether from competitive play in an effort to make a more enjoyable experience. This is something that I look back on and see as kind of funny. One of the creative choices that people disliked most in Brawl were the changes made to make the game more accessible to everyone and to not let super skilled players automatically win every single match. But then the community wanted to go on and do essentially the same thing with Meta Knight, but I don't know, I digress. Anyway, not everyone agreed with this decision to ban the character, and it led to some heated debates on the popular Super Smash Bros. Online forum, Smashboards. Omni in particular said that he used to debate someone named Overswarm for hours on Smashboards about whether or not Meta Knight should be banned. And eventually, he went on to lead a movement of tournament organizers who all agreed to allow the character in their brackets, called OMAR, or Official Meta Knight Allowed Regions. The reason I'm going into so much detail about Meta Knight is that Omni's approach to the situation is something that you'll be able to see throughout his entire YouTube channel. Rather than jumping to the easy, more radical side of things and banning the character, he wanted to find the nuances and look for alternative solutions, like having people actually get good at the game because tiers don't really matter until a very high level of play, but that's neither here nor there. When combining this stance of moderation with his strong feelings on the game, the creation of the Inferno Omni YouTube channel felt like a natural conclusion. Now, his channel wasn't dedicated to Super Smash Bros. Right at the start. The oldest video on the channel seems to be a Mega Man 10 playthrough called Mega Man 10 The Midnight Channel, which was posted on August 24th, 2010, and was followed up on in March of 2011 with whatever this is.
Walk away, you don't hear me say, please, oh baby, don't go.
Anyway, those are the only videos currently on his channel between 2010 and 2014, which is when he started posting content that's a bit more reminiscent of the Omni that we see today. I was unable to find any info on whether or not this was all he posted in that time, or if there were other videos that he's now deleted or privated, but regardless, I want you to make special note of these 2 videos because, believe it or not, I think that they teach a really important lesson, but we'll get back to that. On December 13th of 2014, Omni posted a video called 3 Ways to Improve Your Smash Game. In this video, he tried to give some advice on players of how to improve, and followed it up in a few weeks with a video talking about overcoming tournament nerves. I actually remember seeing these right as they were posted. The Super Smash Bros. Niche on YouTube was really small at that time, and late 2014 was right around the time that I started getting into competitive Melee. I actually remember before my first tournament sitting down and watching Omni's tournament video in an attempt to relax and perform well. Omni continued to post relatively frequently about different topics in Smash Bros. Culture, seeing success with a format that was a mix between skits and legitimate advice. In particular, he saw success with videos like Why Smash 4 Will Die, or Is It Too Late to Play Melee, or a personal favorite topic of mine, 7 Reasons Why 1 Billion Lions Would Lose to All 721 Pokemon, which was a surprisingly hot topic at the time. This video still sits as his 3rd most popular video ever, only very recently being surpassed. Omni kept on posting Super Smash Bros. Content for the next few years with variable consistency, and even saw a moderate amount of success. It's easy to look at this kind of success and think, wow, that person has made it. They get to talk about a game that they love and thousands of people are listening to them. And that's true, it is an awesome thing, but in my life before being a YouTuber, it was a notion that I really romanticized. It isn't hard to see YouTube success, even moderate YouTube success, as a sort of metaphorical promised land flowing with milk and honey. But there's a side to it that not many YouTubers are transparent about, and it's something that I really appreciate about Omni's content. Getting success within a niche is a double-edged sword on YouTube. Like I said, you get to talk about a thing that you love, but you're also expected to only talk about that thing that you love. To modify a quote from the Joker, if tomorrow I tell the world that a Smash video of mine will be posted, nobody panics because it's all part of the plan. But when I make one little deviation from my normal content, well then everyone loses their mind. Omni compared this phenomena to going to a restaurant with thousands of different options that are all delicious, but they have some really amazing bread. So you go to the restaurant the first 50 times and just buy the bread because it's so good. But when you say, maybe the steak would be really nice to try, then everyone freaks out and is like, wait, where's the bread? Why don't you eat the bread anymore? And this can lead to some feelings of serious burnout and feelings of going through the motions in an effort to please your fans without being true to yourself. And Omni was really transparent about this entire process in his vlog videos on his channel. It's super isolating to experience as a creator because you can't really talk to your fans about it. I mean, you can, but you'll usually hear something like, just make whatever content you want to make and do what you'll enjoy and we'll be here. But the harsh reality is that it isn't true a lot of times. People don't know what they want to watch, and so that leaves you with the choice of either being a slave to your own niche or else taking a massive loss in viewership as you transition to something different, which is a transition that can lose a lot of people and not many creators can persevere through. Omni is one of the only people on the platform I've seen being this transparent with the behind the scenes of being a YouTuber. And this is where one of the biggest twists in this Rise Of series that I'm doing comes into play. Not much is known about Omni's personal life before YouTube, but he maintains an aura of authenticity that somehow still makes him one of the most relatable YouTubers I've ever watched. And this is where Omni's at his best. His content on Smash was informative and helpful, but that wasn't necessarily something that only Omni could do. In my opinion, Omni's channel is at its strongest when it's focused on Omni and his different takes on aspects of life or different things happening. There are a lot of things that I can resonate with as a creator coming to his channel, but also people who don't create content can also resonate with. Let me know if this connects to you. Omni started off as some guy who really loved video games and anime, but wanted someone that he can share that love with. He began by wanting to be a Let's Player, but had trouble breaking out of the competitive herd and seemingly had trouble keeping up with it. He also tried some meme videos, but found a similar thing. He knew that he would love to be a YouTuber and had a dream for years about wanting to do it full time instead of accounting. But upon seeing limited success with his channel, he slowly let that goal go, accepting that he would never quite make it big and just learning to love the process. He's talked about having a super hard time starting up new things because he's scared of the pain of failing, and almost conveys a sense that he's been trying to speedrun life, so to speak, doing what he feels like he needs to do in order to grow his YouTube channel, even if it isn't what he wants to do. I don't know Omni personally, but I can see so much of myself in what I do know about him, because I see so much of that same doubt and worry in myself from time to time. I can also guarantee that he's done or continues to do similar things to me as a creator, where you post a video and then immediately check the YouTube Studio app to see how it's doing and how it's growing, and then compare it to your previous 10 videos and gain a sort of toxic mindset of judging your worth or the worth of your videos based on what you see. And this sort of toxicity is made even worse when there's a video that you're really trying to be passionate about or that you're excited for. I don't know, I don't mean to ramble too much about myself, but I think that the sort of introspection that I feel upon watching his content and this sort of connection I feel is indicative of this kind of draw to his channel that's helped him grow. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Omni is finally just now starting to see growth. And that's not only true, but a huge understatement. After years of trying to grow on YouTube and become the very best like no one ever was, it wasn't until he had a sort of Season 2 Zuko acceptance of being okay with where he is that he finally started to see this growth. He started tapping into the strongest aspects of his channel and even started a new series called Lay at Omni, where he discusses current news events with a sense of calmness and nuance to the point that he's now a news drama channel. He still taps into the humor that he's attempted throughout his whole channel, but it feels so much more natural these days. He also eliminated one of the weakest points of his channel, posting consistency, which you can see in his video, I uploaded a video every day for 100 days in a row. And I think that it's really easy to see this label of a news drama channel and have a certain connotation come with it. Kind of like a pseudo drama alert Keemstar who jumps on every trend with the most clickbaitable, view-chasing, radicalizing opinions with very little regard to the repercussions. Honestly, even I fell into this trap before researching this video because I hadn't watched his content since those very early days. But Omni doesn't actually give off that vibe at all. Throughout all of this, he maintains a sense of moderation and calmness, like I said, throughout his entire channel, and shows restraint where it would be so easy to do otherwise. An example of this would be the loss of a friend one that he experienced very publicly in 2019. It was a trying time for everyone in the community, and it would have been so easy for him to have capitalized on it or used his platform for takedown pieces on some of the more prominent individuals involved in the situation. But he didn't. Instead, he used the experience as a way to be open and raw with his viewers about what that situation genuinely felt like, and normalize those feelings, even the negative ones. He's been open about his struggles with depression, especially as the pandemic started, which was a hard time for everyone. And I guess that's what's so inspiring about his channel to me and seeing his growth. By following the course of his channel, you can see a ton of different phases with some honestly strange content as he tries to figure out something that works while seeking his dream of being a YouTuber. But by being true to himself and striving for authenticity, he was finally able to find success and is growing at an unprecedented rate. If I were to boil down into one word why the Omni channel works so well and is growing at the pace that it is, it would be authenticity. I hope that as the years go on, we can see that virtue continue to take the channel farther and farther. Stay smashing.